In 43 AD, the Romans arrived and built Londinium. From mud and stone, a city began to breathe. In 886, King Alfred rebuilt London from ruins. Walls rose, and with them, hope. The Normans claimed London in 1066. With towers and stone, they changed it forever. Under Henry VIII, London expanded. Crowded, noisy, and full of fire, this was Tudor London. In 1666, the city burned. But from ashes came a new beginning. By 1750, steam ruled the streets. London became a machine, loud, fast, and growing. The world gathered in London. The Crystal Palace shined with invention and pride. London in 1912 stood proud. But deep down, it held its breath. The bombs fell, but London held strong. Underground, the people waited, unbroken. In 1969, London danced. Music, freedom, color, a city reborn. The world returned in 2012. London shined, modern, proud, united. Today, London is green, digital, alive. Still changing. Still becoming. Cities are not born. They rise. They burn. They change. And sometimes, they become eternal. Before it was London, it was Riverbank. No spires, no streets, just the murmur of the Thames in the dawn fog. Then came the Romans. Steel met earth in 43 AD, and from the mud, they raised Londinium, a frontier carved in ambition. Soldiers built scaffolds, temples, and walls. A city breathed for the first time. When Rome fell, silence returned. But not for long. By 886, King Alfred the Great rode through smoke and ruin, reclaiming what had been lost to Viking fire. He rebuilt with timber and will. The streets were muddy, the homes modest, but London lived again. Its wooden gates whispered defiance. Its people, hope. Then came 1066, the Normans, silent and armored, crossing stone gates. London changed hands, and with it, identity. They built towers to watch and walls to contain. The Tower of London rose like a crown and a threat. The city stood taller, and colder. Under Henry VIII, power dressed in red and gold. The year was 1533, and London grew loud. Bakers shouted prices, priests questioned kings. Markets overflowed with fabrics, rumors, and smoke. Faith split in two. But the streets stayed full. This was a city of motion, royal, raw, alive. Then in 1666, the fire came. From Pudding Lane, a flame devoured centuries. For days of fury, churches crumbled, rooftops cracked, history turned to ash. But even in ruin, London refused to vanish. The fire cleared the canvas. And the city began again. By 1750, smoke returned, not from fire, but from machines. Factories bled steam into the sky. Children pushed coal carts. Brick buildings multiplied, and the streets darkened with dust. London was no longer just a city. It was an engine, a machine of progress. Then glass rose from the ground. In 1851, the Crystal Palace stood like a miracle. Beneath its glittering arches, inventions from every corner of the world hummed with possibility. Crowds flowed in top hats and corsets, past steam-powered marvels and botanical wonders. For a moment, it felt like London held the future in its hands. But the world was shifting again. In 1912, London shimmered in Edwardian elegance. Double-deckers rolled beside horses. Newspapers screamed of the Titanic. Votes for women rang louder. The fog, the lace, the calm before the storm, everything felt poised to break. Then, darkness. Sirens split the air. The Blitz came in 1940. Bombs rained from the sky. Buildings vanished in flashes. But below, In underground stations, Londoners sang lullabies by candlelight. Even when the skyline burned, the spirit didn't. And when the sky cleared, London danced. 1969, the Beatles, bell-bottoms, and Carnaby Street. The city pulsed with youth and rhythm. Color spilled across walls. Guitars replaced gunfire. The past was still there, but the city now belonged to the young. In 2012, the world returned, not as conquerors, but as guests. The Olympic Stadium roared. The Thames sparkled with lights and cheers. Tower Bridge shone in color. London stood global, open, proud. Cultures blended like languages in the wind. And now, 2025. Electric buses hum past ancient stone. Smart benches line medieval lanes. Green rooftops rise over Victorian brick. The skyline glows not just with wealth, but with intention. Eco, digital, diverse, yet undeniably London. Because London never forgets where it began. It remembers the mud of 43. The fire of 1666. The fog, the music, the war, the light. But it doesn't live in memory. It moves forward. One foot in history. One in tomorrow. This is London. Born in fire. Built in stone. And still, becoming.